why 1,204 SUI will set you financially free. And I'm not sure why it says freedom here, because this guy looks like he's the last person who's free, just about to enter a war. But when we talk about crypto, at the end of the day, unfortunately, it is player versus player. So we want to be the ones who can come out victorious in terms of this. So when we look at SUI, guys, at the current time of recording, 1,204 SUI is going to cost you around about 4.4k, which is still a reasonably high amount of money. I know a lot of people cannot afford that. I don't have 4.4k just to spread on SUI at the moment, but it is a coin which I have got a small allocation to, and a coin which I believe can do very well, and I'll talk about this as we kind of go through the video. Quick disclaimer, guys, please read this with care. This video is not financial advice. Crypto is volatile and highly risky. No results are guaranteed. This content is for experienced users only, and it's a full legal disclaimer in the description below. It is a coin which I would like to expand my current allocation to, and I've been watching it for quite a while, understanding the use case and a lot of the hype and developments that they've been making. So currently sitting at around about the $3.6 mark, with a relatively medium-sized market cap here of around about 13 billion and ranked in the top 15 in terms of all cryptos in the industry. Again, when we look at SUI, it is a relatively newer coin in the top rankings, much less established than a lot of coins out there in this list, but I still think that it's a coin which has a very, very good potential, especially as it's a newer coin and it's got a lot of hype and narrative around it at the current time of recording. And SUI, we've seen the likes of its market cap already hit around about the 14.7 billion mark, so it's not too far off what it previously hit earlier in the year, but I think when we look at this, we've got a lot of room to grow. So as of very recently, we've seen SUI now rank in the top 2 in terms of the most bullish sentiment of any cryptos in the whole industry, and at around about the 94%, pretty much neck and neck with Hedera HBAR, which I think is a very, very good project. But this is very, very important for a number of reasons, and the fact that we're seeing community believing in a coin and a lot of people understanding the use case and the value in this is very, very good for price prediction, because many times in crypto and in life, when a lot of people all come together and have the same opinion and invest in certain things, this is very good in terms of a price action, because when you have a lot of people and they work together, because when you have a lot of people who are all in something for together, we generally see that the price action over long periods of time does start to perform quite well. And this is really, really good to see, because not many coins out there have anywhere near this high. Even the coins which are in the top 10 at the moment, SUI is outranking them in terms of bullish sentiment. So for me, when it comes to cryptos, I'm going to rank this very, very highly, give it a green tick, and this is very positive for one reason why it can do quite well. It's very important to note that we are seeing Bitwise 10 crypto index fund putting SUI in this, because a lot of these coins out there are very, very well established. I believe that SUI is one of the coins in here which has been around for less time than pretty much all of them out there, but very good to see that institutions are seeing it and picking SUI. They could pick any coins, of course, they're picking some strong candidates here, but it's nice to see that SUI is recognized in here. Institutions are seeing that, and again, they're not going to want to be investing in coins, like we mentioned before, that they don't think have longevity in the space. Also coins that are going to make their customers lose money. Again, for me, another green tick, very, very positive to see, and I do like this. Next thing as well, I wanted to mention the fact that we are still seeing a lot of monthly visits over time, albeit we have seen a slight dip in visitors for SUI over the last couple months. Still consistently seeing around about that 400k mark, with almost 500k back a couple months back. And this is really positive, because it's showing that there's more eyeballs on SUI. More people are wanting to understand, well, what is SUI and what does it actually do, and can actually make money from this project, like who are their partners, and all these kind of really good things. So it's very good for those investors in there that like SUI and are already in, because it's showing that there is becoming a decent amount of awareness. There's a strong foundation in here, and again, I would give this another green tick. Awesome. As we go through, the next thing I want to talk about is price action. Looking at SUI, we've seen that it has reached over $4.9 in the last year or so, and it had a market cap of around 14.8 billion. So when we look at that and where it is, again, like we mentioned before, it's not actually that far off where it previously was. But I think it's important to note that it's reasonable to deduce that during the peak of the bull run, a 35 billion to 70 billion market cap is possible for SUI. Still quite a way off that at the moment, but I still think that it could potentially achieve lower than this, or theoretically it still can achieve higher than the 70 billion. Again, it's not my prediction when it comes into SUI. with SUI potentially reaching that $35 billion market cap with 1,204 of them, that's going to fetch you around about $11,800 all the way up until here, what I've written down, around about the $23,600 mark. And you might be thinking, well, Tookie, like, what are you talking about being financially free? How is that even possible? That's not enough money. But it's important to note that if we understand how crypto cycles work and how we can potentially look to funnel money, although it's going to be a lot more risky playing this game, we can potentially supercharge the gains. And let me explain to you how that can work. So as we have seen, Bitcoin in this cycle and in all the other cycles has traditionally gone first, which is why we've seen Bitcoin hit its all-time high. Again, obviously it had the help through the ETFs and all these kind of things. But what we have seen as of late in the last couple of months is that Ethereum has now started to reach its previous all-time high, which again, we've seen in all the previous cycles as well. And what happens then is, as Ethereum starts to go up, we should, in theory, see people start to take profits from Ethereum and then funnel that into the large caps, the ADAs, Solanas, and closely approaching here with SUI in the future as it continues to grow. And then we see the money flow as people take profits from that into altcoin season and memes. So it's important to know, we look at that $20,000, even if we can potentially follow that into other coins which we have conviction in and haven't quite gone yet, this, in my opinion, is quite a good way for you to be able to multiply it, although it is a little bit more risky. So hopefully, guys, this has provided you with some value, and thank you very much for watching.